right, we're live.
Oh, shit.
All righty, everybody. Hello and welcome back. Actually, welcome back this time. I'm not just saying it. It has been a little bit over a week, but we're back with another episode of the Going the Distance podcast for an end of the year special. Going to be the last episode of 2021 as tomorrow, this is live on December 30th. So tomorrow is actually New Year's Eve. Crazy how that works. Doesn't even feel like Christmas has happened or anything. The holiday season's flying by, but there's a lot to talk about. And this episode is going to be a little bit untraditional. We're going to mostly just review the highlights from the year, essentially, rather than going on the hot topics from what's happening now. But first, be sure to follow us on social media over at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, we are at GTDsports.com. You can find our personal accounts over at RyanBennell8 and at ElijahSpan19. And last but not least, check out on our website our brand new podcast network. Actually, it's not even new at this point. You guys should know about it, but go over to gtdsports.com and check out all of our other shows. But before we get into all of the best of 2021 shenanigans, we'll start with the highlight and low light of the holiday season so far. Since it's been a little bit since we've talked to you guys, Elijah, I'll let you start us off.
So I would just like to say one of my first highlights is that bowl season bets are going fairly well. Not today. Yesterday was a good day. Today, not as much so far. Depends on how Michigan State's doing right now. Also,
they were up 10-7 when I checked.
Yeah, that was the last time when I turned it off to do this. And then another one is that it's good to be back. The break was much needed for me personally. And I'm getting tired. Same with you, like doing the podcast throughout finals week, me working, 40, 45 hours, sometimes 50 hours a week. So the break was much needed, but it felt good. Like today I was like, oh, cool. Like I get to record a podcast. So it became a treat again. I realized that this isn't a chore for me. This is a hobby. This is a treat. So that was nice. It's definitely, it's good to have that fire relit. In a way.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to just, step back when we want to rather than just like forcing ourselves to do it every single time,
Right. Made me appreciate it again. Or, not that I never didn't, but you know what I'm saying. And then low light, getting blue balled on big money parlays. I've had one $200, like $250 parlay that got ruined by Chris Middleton not scoring 5 more points, and then
I was on that same parlay almost, like a very similar one. Yeah, we both got blue balled by that.
Yep. So every little leg hit except for him, and then I had like $100 teaser that got ruined by the Patriots, and like the fact that they could have had that interception from Josh Allen on that last drive made that even worse because all they had to do was cover 6.5 because it was a teaser, and so that really sucked. And then the other one was John Madden dying. I don't know why I got that upset, but I was like actually like pretty beat up about it.
So, I mean, it is sad. I mean, he's like the legend of the game.
Yeah.
It's literally the whole video game franchise, is based on him. So yeah, it is sad. But no, I agree though with the you're blue balled by the parlays. It seems like that could be a low light, not even of this holiday season, but of the year. I'm tired of having my 5-leg, 6-leg parlays. Just going like onto the last. Actually, if it goes to the last leg, I've gotten pretty disciplined about making sure I hedge it. But it's always like, it's the second leg that loses, but then it's a 7-legger that would have hit if that one had made it.
I fucking know.
Worst. It's the worst
because that was the Chris Middleton one.
Yeah,
Chris Middleton was like the first or second, and then of course like the other 3 or 4 that I had in there all hit.
It's like part of you roots for them to miss just so like you would have felt better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's because I don't want to deal with the frustration, so I just want the rest to lose as well.
Yeah, it's almost like if one parlay leg doesn't hit, then I don't want any of them to hit. Like one day, I went 0-3 in a parlay, and I was like, you know what? I'm like not even mad.
0-3, that should count. They should count that as a win, honestly. Or just give you your money. That's honestly just as impressive as going 3 for 3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty, though. My highlight of the holiday season, I have a few. I couldn't really decide on just one. It's been a pretty a cheerful holiday season to say. But first off, part of the reason also we took a break is because I was in Cabo for a week, and that was nice. I went with my girlfriend and her family, so that was fun. It was my first Christmas away from home, though, so that was interesting. Felt like a big boy.
Yeah.
And then I also, too, another one is, you can see it probably on my bed charging back there, is I got an Oculus Quest 2, the VR headset, and it's probably the coolest thing ever. Like, I could just live in virtual reality. I feel like I've been in VR, honestly, just as much as normal reality the past couple days, but it starts to hurt my head after a while, so I can't really play it too much. And then last but not least,
if
what were you going to say?
If I didn't have so many big boy purchases to make, I would buy one of those in a heartbeat.
Because I mean, honestly, like I know $300 is $300, but for what it is, $300 is not that bad.
I mean, fuck.
They used to be like $600, the headsets.
Yeah, I think they're $300 now. They used to be $400.
Yeah, the Quest 2 is $299.
Oh fuck me! I'm gonna end up buying one.
Dude, it's so cool, bro. It's so
I'm
cool.
gonna end up buying one.
We could play ping pong against each other, bro. I mean, and like a whole bunch of other shit, but that's what I've been doing lately.
Oh, well, the ping pong is just what hooked me in. So
it's so realistic. Oh, we could also play full rounds of 18 golf against each other.
That's new.
Yeah,
that's new. I did not know about that. So I'm probably gonna. I'm moving to an apartment soon. I got to make some other big boy purchases. I'm probably gonna save a little money after that, and you know.
Yeah, dude. I recommend it, bro. Plus, it would be fun. We could just play golf whenever. It's pretty realistic too.
Honestly. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard it's sick.
All right, and then last but not least of my highlight is tomorrow I'm going to the Cincinnati and Alabama playoff game with my dad, and hopefully there's no last minute COVID cancellations because that would be bullshit. But
dude,
I'm hyped.
I really doubt that they'll actually cancel.
No, not the playoff games. They can't do it.
But they said that they would. Remember?
I mean, I guess, but there's so much money involved for these TV contracts.
Exactly. I think that they're just saying that to scare teams because, like, if I was on one of those teams or a coach, I'd be like, everybody lock the fuck down.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, they probably already are, but that would just be like, lighting a fire under their ass.
Like I would quarantine. Like I would quarantine harder than when the pandemic first started.
Like basically just pretend like you have COVID until you play or whenever you're practicing and stuff.
Right. Right. Like, no, if I was a head coach, I'd be like, no outside contact with the world whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
No girlfriends, moms, dads, like nothing.
Well, even aside from the cancellation aspect, even just for like, think about if Bryce Young gets COVID. Well, that's a huge hit for Bama. Then Cincinnati gets a lot better chances, like vice versa.
I've thought about that a lot, like with the playoff games that are coming up with the NFL. Like if this hopefully that everyone's gonna be. Once playoff starts, it's going to be kind of in the clear. Like this surge will pass. Mm-hmm. But like, what if Bengals finally make a playoff game? Joe Burrow gets COVID. Like, what if Dak gets COVID?
Don't speak that.
No, I'm just saying, bro. like, but it could happen to any team. So that's why it's okay to say it.
I mean, you're right.
It could what if Aaron Rodgers? Well, Aaron Rodgers already got it, so he probably won't get it again.
Yeah, he's probably fine for the rest of the season.
Like, what if Pat Mahomes got it?
I mean, that would definitely shake things up. I mean, that's like, you could argue that's kind of how it's been these past few weeks, even just for like the playoff race. Like the Bengals, I like to think we would have beat the Ravens even if they had Lamar Jackson, but we kind of just got a free 20-point win because we were going up against our third string quarterback. And that's just because of COVID. Like it was just a situational game, but now that gives us a significantly better chance of making playoffs over the Ravens. Right. So it's kind of like we're already seeing that to an extent.
It's crazy. No, and I really hate that these meaningful games are being decided because guys are out because of COVID.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it does suck.
It's pretty bullshit if you ask me. But I mean, it is what it is.
Like I would say postpone them, but then it's kind of like a domino effect,
Yeah.
Like I mean, I do respect that they're still trying to push through and everything. Like I'm glad that they're at least trying.
I will say though that like when it comes to the Super Bowl, let's say like Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, whoever the fuck it is, Dak Prescott, starting quarterback in the Super Bowl gets COVID, they should postpone that game.
Oh, 100%. No, if it's the Super Bowl or something, yeah, you have to postpone that.
Like, could you imagine a Super Bowl played with a third string quarterback?
I mean, Nick Foles. Well, he wasn't third string, but
he's the backup.
Nick Foles, but still, I mean, the backup, but that's a little bit different. It's also Nick Foles.
Yeah, that was different because Carson Wentz tore his ACL in week 13 and Nick Foles carried them throughout the playoffs. This is
Like
a
a
guy
fucking
getting
Brandon Whedon of the world coming in.
Yeah, could you imagine if like the Cowboys made the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden Ben DiNucci is our starting fucking quarterback in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
because Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott both got COVID.
Bro, but
like
it could be a legend in the making, bro. He could
Not
go
even.
down in the history books.
that guy sucks so much ass.
Yeah,
There's
he's
not a
honestly
chance.
one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. Well, NFL quarterbacks.
Awful. He's not worse than
back
Ian Book, but
back on topic though. Low light of holiday season. It was hard to choose, other than COVID canceling all these damn bowl games, like we've already talked about. Has been really just kind of finding the motivation to do shit. Like we talked about it before we started recording. I'm currently right now, for those that know, Elijah graduated from TCU. I still go to TCU. I'm in my college house right now. Everybody else in college is still at home for Christmas. But I live like right here. All my stuff is here. So it's kind of like, I don't know, defeats purpose. But there are definitely some times where I really love being like home alone and shit. But then like other times I'm like, damn, I'm staring at a wall right now, or I've been on TikTok for like 2 hours. I should really start doing something I need to do. But other than that, that's really it. Nothing really nothing too sad to harp on for this holiday break.
I'd give you a free pass on that though. That's pretty much just like what I did in college. Anytime I had that break, it's like you take advantage of it. You break. You know?
It's honestly because it's like I haven't just done nothing in a while. So.
Yeah, so you get to do nothing, and it's just what it's all about. Like if I had the opportunity to do nothing, I would definitely take advantage of it.
Now we gotta grind though. New year, baby. New goals. Year. GTT's finna take off. Speaking of that, we have already some stuff kind of in the works a little bit. We're officially a business. Officially. We have the paperwork with our taxpayer ID number on it and everything. GTD Sports is official in the eyes of the law. So that is fun. Alrighty.
All right. Let's do our awards.
You want to do our awards or get into New Year's resolution Christmas list?
Right. Let's do those first. I'm sorry, I forgot those were there.
No, you're good. So in the spirit of the holidays, we missed the Christmas list. So since we didn't get an episode in before Christmas started, so we'll go ahead and do that. But first, we got our New Year's resolutions, being that New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Elijah, what is yours? This is gonna be anything sports related.
So my New Year's sports resolutions is that I will stop betting teasers. They don't work.
Yeah, they're tempting. They're tempting.
They look really good, and just for the most part, like the last teaser I played is the 4-team teaser. 3 out of the 4 legs hit, but you know what will also have hit too? If I would have just hit the normal parlay,
the normal spread.
3 out of 4
the
legs
odds on teasers always fuck with my head because it's like sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is such a smart play, and then I type in the numbers and I'm like, that's like barely even worth it. Like what?
Right. Well, what gets me is that a 4-team teaser you can bet 40 to win 100.
Yeah,
and I've actually hit a couple, but for the most part, teasers don't fucking work. Don't do them. I know it looks good. You feel smart by doing them. Just stay away. And then second, people always break their New Year's resolutions. So this is my New Year's resolution. I know I'm going to break it. I will stop saying the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
All right. So, I will be happy about that. Actually, you know what? No, it's good for content. Good for shit talking. Come on.
I'm going to break it. Probably at some point in this episode.
I was about to say, I give you before, not even till the end of the football season. At some point when the playoffs start, you'll be like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Probably to say it the next kickoff. Are you serious? Dude, I was watching the mollywhopping, most biggest embarrassment in primetime football history. I was like, oh, Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
That was nuts, dude. I was on an airplane. Somehow, shout out American Airlines, though. Somehow they have live football games for free.
I know.
Plane. I was like, what? I'm literally like 30,000 feet in the air watching Taylor Haneke throw interceptions left and right.
Dude, I same thing. I fly United for Christmas, and they had live TV. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, how does this work?
Yeah, I was watching the UCF Florida game, like 30,000 feet in the air. I was like, I got money on this game, and I'm flying.
It's cool. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, I had my first airport beer experience, and I can attest, airport beers hit different. I don't know what it is. Had like 3 of them. Got up from the bar, and I was like,
they get you drunk.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
They get you where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Because then I had my flight got delayed. Yeah, so glad I had the beers.
Yeah, but those are my sports resolutions.
Yeah, I got a few. Mine is similar, sports betting related. Rather than teasers, I will stop placing 8-leg parlays anytime I am remotely up. I have a bad habit of being like, oh, I'm up 5 units this week. Let me just throw 2 of them on some parlays that'll never hit because I can afford it. But like, I don't know. It's just that chance that attracts me.
I do that too. I think it's human nature.
It is because you want to, because also it's true. Like, it really doesn't affect you as much. Like, if you just lose $10 out of like 100 rather than you're down 200 trying to chase your winnings or losses. I mean,
because I know gambling is playing with money, but when you're up on the week, you're like, oh, that's when in your head when your brain tells you, oh, I really have some money to play around with right now, which I did last week. So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of human nature.
Yeah, and then you lose like half of it, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, and you're like,
just stopped.
It's like, dude, where did all my fucking money go? Like, I had so many good bets, and then you look, it's like, oh, because I placed like 3 stupid ass parlays that were supposed to win me $300 apparently.
Yeah, everybody that sports bets has like that slight degenerate conscience in their head telling them to do that. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, and then another one is I will stop. This one is one I'm going to break as well. I will stop having hope for my teams to succeed. I will now in 2022 expect nothing out of any of my teams, Bengals, Heat, Arsenal, everybody. And then I can stop being depressed when they let me down. Because this year, I know right now things are going well for me because like the Bengals are almost in the playoffs. Arsenal's playing in the top 4. Miami Heat are, I think, 3rd in the East, maybe 4th. Things are going well. But this year was really rough for my sports fandom. It tossed me around, beat me upside down.
Yeah. And I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit right now.
Oh,
not on purpose, but this is a real thought that I had in my head last week. I think that the Bengals are going to go to the AFC Championship game.
Dude, I was talking with some of my other like football fan friends as well, and I was saying like how I am begging just for one playoff win. That's all I want. That's all I care about. But they were like, dude, I think they're going to the championship game. And I'm like, don't fuck with me, guys. Like, don't. Are you serious? Like, but I honestly think there's a chance. I
think they're a dark horse Super Bowl appearance. Like, I really do.
Bro. If the Bengals make the Super Bowl, I don't even know how I'm gonna act, bro. I don't even know what I would do. Like, I straight up don't know how I'm gonna act.
I really think they do, just because like Joe Burrow, man, like that guy is. It's his mentality is what gets me.
Dude, he's a winner.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, he's just a winner. He's just got that fuck you mentality. He's got the chip on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
and that connection probably right now not with the offense, the chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're gonna do it, but they're my dark horse right now. They're my dark horse Super Bowl appearance.
We got a comment that says Bengals would get schmacked in the Super Bowl. Yeah, probably. Okay, if we had to play like the Rams, even if we had to play the Cowboys, we'd probably get smacked.
Dude, a Bengals Cowboys Super Bowl would be so great.
It would literally be perfect for this podcast. We could do so much with that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We need it to happen. All right, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow. If somehow you hear this, make it happen, guys. We believe.
I think they're both already doing their best, but
yeah, probably.
But yeah, no, that would be sick. But continue.
Oh, that's mostly it for my New Year's resolutions. And last but not least is I will write more blogs for GTD. Got to get some more content out. JD's been carrying us lately. Shout out James. All right. From one holiday to the other, going backwards a little bit, we're going from my New Year's resolution now to our sports Christmas list. We didn't get to do this because we didn't get to record before the actual holiday itself. So, Elijah, what did you want for Christmas this year or still want?
So, my sports Christmas list is to obviously Cowboys win the Super Bowl. My Super Bowl hype went down the past couple of weeks, and then there was the massacre that was last Sunday night.
Yeah, that was brutal, dude.
Oh my god! Like I said,
it was funny.
The biggest embarrassment I've ever seen on primetime football. I think. And also, I think it was the biggest margin of victory this year. Before it was Jets Pats, which was 52-12. This is 56
I
to
believe that.
14. So yeah, biggest
Makes
margin of
sense.
victory this year. Hell yeah. And then next Christmas wish is for ESPN to maybe not have 8 hours of LeBron content a day. Just a thought. And then next one, a little bit more personal. Get some golf lessons and consistently shoot in the 90s. Maybe even go crazy and shoot in the high 80s.
It's a good goal.
Tom Brady to win MVP for the good old bank account.
You got a future bet on that?
Just a little,
A little sprinky bink.
A little $100.
To win how much? What?
Like 150. I placed it late in the season.
Okay. Sheesh. Okay, that's gonna be close with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
Fucking no, dude. All of a sudden this MVP candidacy comes. I'm just hoping that the fucking people that were so pissed off about the whole vaccine thing won't give it to him.
I feel like that actually might have an effect.
I think that'll play.
It might.
And then to not lose money, that would be cool. And then for Conor McGregor to be good again.
That would be nice. That would be a lot more entertaining. Mm-hmm. All right, mine is, I have a little bit more. I'll try to get through it quick. But first and foremost, not so much for the Super Bowl, but I just want the Bengals to win a playoff game. I already said it earlier, but this is really all I want. I've said it on past episodes that Bengals have never won a playoff game since text messaging was invented. So I'm going to have that shit ready to click send. And I'm going to be the first person ever to send a text about a playoff win. So looking forward to that. And then I also want Tyler Herro, my favorite basketball player, to win Sixth Man of the Year. And staying with the NBA, I also want to see Desmond Bane, our TCU boy, make the NBA All-Star game, which is a actual possibility right now.
Really?
Yeah, Bane is going off.
NBA.
Yeah, Bane, he just had like a career high 32 points in a game. He's been playing extremely well. He's honestly on pace right now to win Most Improved Player. Okay. And then another one I got a UFC is to watch a Sean O'Malley title fight. This isn't something that's going to happen right away, but I want it so bad to see his name in the headlines as the main event. Well, next up, staying with fighting as well, Jake Paul to stop taking steroids. That's a little conspiracy I've got now. I feel like he's taking roids. I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's a conspiracy.
It's just true.
There's actually a lot of stuff out there that points to that being true.
Really? I haven't looked into it super hard. I know like Dana White came out though and said that Jake Paul can cocaine test him for the next 10 years if he lets him randomly steroid test him for the next 2.
I saw that. This is not a new thing, but Jake Paul being on steroids.
Speaking of Dana White, though, another one on my list is to play blackjack with Dana. He's a big gambler, huge in the casinos, and I don't know. I feel like it would just be that's on my bucket list. Just play blackjack and talk to Dana White would be interesting.
I'm gonna give a quick little aside. I learned today that Tobey Maguire, the OG Spider-Man, was a huge poker player, and he would win $1 million a month in a underground gambling ring.
God, $1 million a month?
Yeah. And apparently too, you know that movie Molly's Game? Have you ever seen it?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, well apparently like one of the main players, player X, was based off Tobey Maguire.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
it wasn't even like official competitions, it was just like an underground thing.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So apparently he's like sick at poker, which is kind of cool.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, and then another one too. I debated putting this on here, but after consideration, it's legal in California, which is where Cody Bellinger plays. Another one on my Christmas list had to be smoking a blunt with Cody Bellinger. I feel like that would be an interesting experience. He's known as just the MLB stoner per se. There's just a bunch of clips and everything. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah, he's pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high. And then next up, COVID to fuck off. That's on my Christmas list. I'm tired of all these bowl game cancellations. What?
So that's on everyone's.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So we've already talked about it enough, but these bowl game cancellations now, NBA, NHL, everything's affected by it. And last but not least on my Christmas list is for Cincinnati to win the national championship for all the little guys out there. I've been waiting 2 years for them to get a shot, and they finally got it, and I hope they make the most of it. So that's it for my Christmas list this year.
All right.
At least I could think of. All right, now time for the best of 2021 moments. We have quite the list here. We're going to be going starting from win of the year. We got bad beat of the year, a whole bunch of bets, everything highlighting moments from the 2021 year of sports. So first off, we're going to start with the win of the year. Elijah, what do you got?
So for my win of the year, I went with Bama beating Georgia in the SEC championship. The reason why I picked this is because a lot of people were just all over Georgia, and I think it just really solidified the greatness that is Nick Saban. And as much as I hate it, like I'm not even a Bama supporter. Like I don't even like Bama. I like rooting against Bama. I would love for Bama to fail, but that's just definitely one of those moments that when I saw and I was like, damn, this guy's on another level. This is all-time shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with like the way they played too in that game. It wasn't even like close, honestly. They had it under control. Yeah, for me, I went a little bit out of my norm. I went with golf for the win of the year. Hideki Matsuyama winning the Masters. The reason why is he was the first Japanese-born player to do so, and I love seeing that kind of stuff. It also one of the coolest sports photos of the year was also his caddy bowing to the hole after he made it on the 18th green. It was just sick. So that was one of the coolest moments of the year. Yeah. So that's my win of the year.
And he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right? He wasn't even like a favorite at all whatsoever.
All right. And then Arnold will mention to Team USA in the Ryder Cup for beating Team Europe.
That was a good one. All right. Another one. This one's pretty straightforward as well. Athlete of the year. I'll go ahead and start off this time. I went with Shohei Ohtani. Again, a little bit out of my norm. Not a big baseball guy, but I think Shohei just took the world by storm with his abilities this year. I mean, he was getting compared to Babe Ruth left and right. And by compared, I mean, people realized that he would absolutely dominate Babe Ruth in every facet of the game. So he was a special player. He's going to continue to be a special player. But this year was really kind of his rise to stardom, even though there's always been that hype around him building up. But now it really came to fruition.
For me, I'm going John Rahm. There's just, I think after the Masters, it was literally after he got COVID, which was the U.S. Open. When he won the U.S. Open, he was literally top 5 in every single golf tournament from there on point. Just absolute dominance. He was the number one overall. Oh my God. Just every single weekend, he was either like, if he didn't win it, he was second, which in a golf tournament, if you don't know, that's pretty much just as good.
Yeah.
And he's just wild. So he's my athlete of the year. I think he put on the best show. Like just an absolute dominance in 2021. And then honorable mention to Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue without it's hard to have Tom Brady not at least in this conversation, especially after getting a 7th ring with a new team, all of that. It's kind of one of those things, almost like the LeBron James effect, where LeBron is like so good every year that he's not necessarily thought of for the MVP as much as other players, just because he's so consistently good. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that. I mean, Tom Brady could be the athlete of the year almost every year. So you could argue too, like another honorable mention would be Steph Curry. I feel like he had a hell of a year too.
Yeah, that would be another good one. And then what do you got for game of the year?
Game of the year. I went, instead of a true game, I went with a fight out of the UFC. And my fight of the year was Justin Gaithy versus Michael Chandler. It was just bombs left and right. These guys were slugging at each other. It was bloody. They were laughing, like fist bumping during the fight and going at it. It was everything that the UFC is about was in this fight. And it was just awesome to watch. So that was my quote unquote game of the year. What about you?
That was a hell of a fight. I think for me, It's another Bama game, but I'm going A&M upsetting Bama.
I almost took that too. Yeah.
I think that just everything that went along with that, how the crazy party that happened in College Station afterwards,
Was nuts.
A&M needing that win. I think wasn't it the first Saban understudy or like Saban protege to win a game?
Yeah, I think so. To beat
Against
him,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's insane. And then Arnold mentioned to Patriots Cowboys regular season game. That was a crazy game. Just wildly entertaining. And then Bucks Packers NFC Championship game.
That was a really good one too. Yeah. It's hard to think of like looking back, like all of the games to just like pick one or two. Cause I mean, there's so many good ones. And plus some of them you just forget even happened in 2021.
Yeah.
Like
I think another game that I would pick would probably be, I can't remember which game it was, but there's a couple of those Nets Bucks games that were really sick.
Oh yeah.
In that Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 6, probably the one that sent it to 7. That was nuts.
Yeah.
That was where Katie hit the fadeaway 3 splash.
Right. Was that the conference finals or the semi-conference finals?
That was I'm 90% sure it was the conference.
The Hawks
finals.
went to the conference finals.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you're right. It was the you're right.
Oh my god, those are so long ago.
Yeah, it's right. It doesn't even feel like 2021,
Christ.
but it was.
I know
like,
it was. Yeah,
that's weird. Also, like March Madness happened too, like this year. That's another thing. Weird.
Couldn't tell you a single thing. I don't even know who won.
Oh, fuck! I should know. Oh, Baylor beat Gonzaga.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, which is gross. Gross. Fuck Baylor.
Yeah.
But it was also the Oral Roberts year, which I have Oral Roberts on my list.
I remember Oral Bob.
Yeah, Oral Bob.
Damn, that's a shame. Right. Honestly, Oral Bob has been more memorable than Baylor winning the championship.
Yeah, their Sweet 16 run. Yeah,
that's how you know Baylor sucks.
Yeah, because they beat Ohio State too, which was like a really big deal for Ohio State. Like,
yeah,
and just fuck Baylor. I mean, nobody was rooting for them either. Everybody wanted Gonzaga to win.
I remember that.
All right, and then next up, we got the team of the year. I'm going with, it was hard to pick a traditional, core 4 team, so I went with Team USA. I feel like, American sports have just been on a tear this year more than ever. We got the Ryder Cup win, like Elijah mentioned, dominated in the Olympics this year, and also this is probably the best men's soccer team we've ever had. We already know how good our women's team is, but the men's team is finally starting to look up. There's actually some players that have potential, a lot of youngsters. I like what I'm seeing from USA. So it was a great year all in all for Team USA.
For me, I'm also going outside of the box for core 4. I'm going Team Red Bull, Formula 1, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez.
I like it.
Youngest champion of all time. And then also Christian Horner. I mean, if you watch Drive to Survive, I don't need to go any further into it.
I love him, dude. He's so funny.
He's just a clown. So, yeah, team of the year. I'll give it to him for that.
I like that. Good pick. I mean, they definitely did a lot considering they were going up against the behemoth that is Mercedes. All right, and now switching gears a little bit. This one's gambling. We got bad beat of the year. I couldn't really nail it on just one game in particular this year, but I think if I had to choose just one in general for all of sports betting, I didn't have any action on this, but I've seen a lot of tickets that did, and it's really sad. And I'm going to go with Clemson losing the ACC. They were the biggest favorite to win a conference in the last decade, and they lost. They were like a minus 800 favorite to win the ACC. Didn't even make the championship game. And yeah, so that was, it's not really necessarily a bad beat because it wasn't like a last second shot, but it's an ugly beat for this year as a whole.
Yeah, I want to know which cocksucker out there had Pitt to win the ACC championship.
Dude, right? Like who? Nobody, bro.
So for me, I'm going Suns to win the finals. Like you, I couldn't think of a single particular game. There was no like Cincinnati to not cover the spread last year. Bad beats like those that I can really just think off the top of my head. But there is the Suns blowing that 2-game lead, and also being the favorite to win the finals coming out of the West. And I almost placed again. Yeah, I didn't have any particular action, but I did almost place them multiple times when they were up. I was like, it's pretty much free money. And I know a lot of people did put money on the Suns to win it all at some point in the NBA playoffs, and then they just fucking blew it at the end there. So
It's also like a bad beat for the bettors, also a bad beat for Chris Paul, man. That would have been his first ring. Like that poor guy, he's probably never gonna get one now. Unless somehow, I mean, the Suns are really good. It's not like they're
I don't know, they're pretty kick-ass this year.
Yeah, they could definitely make a run again.
But I think this year belongs to Golden State, personally.
Oh yeah, honestly, it really looks that way. I mean, especially once they get all their guys back. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, Heat Mavs championship. Book it.
I wish.
All right, next up on the list is the game changer of the year. So this one's kind of open-ended, whether it be an athlete in particular, a rule change, something. But I went with the rule change, and I think the game changer of the year is name, image, and likeness being introduced in collegiate athletics. We've already seen over the past 5 months, it went into act July 1st of this year, and it has just been nuts. I mean, the transfer portal has changed. The advertisement space has changed. Everything has changed rapidly. It's giving these athletes an opportunity. We don't even know what it's capable of yet. There's still so much to come. So that's my game changer of the year.
Mine, I went a little outside the box of mine too. I went with big athletes opting out due to mental health. You had Simone Biles during the Olympics. You had Calvin Ridley. You had Naomi Osaka opting out of the press conferences and then even skipping events altogether because she had to go to press conference to participate in the event. I think this is something that we've never seen before. It makes me feel really good because it says a good message about mental health, but it also kind of, I am torn about it a little bit because, like, for me, if I took even a week off work to focus, like, and I told my boss it was to focus on my mental health, I'd get fired. You know what I mean? Like, and I got bills to pay. So
yeah,
it's hard.
It is a hard conversation. Yeah.
It's a hard conversation to have. But I think hopefully that at some point stuff like this can be used for the better. But so that's a big game changer for me.
Yeah, there's definitely there's positives and negatives to it. Like
positives and negatives. Because I think it's a give and a take. Because like everyday people, you know, can't say like, look, dude, you know, I got mouths to feed and shit like that. I'd love to be paid millions of dollars so I can go focus on my mental health for 6 months out of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it's,
that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, that's what makes it
it's
so
hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's such a hard topic.
No, but honestly, I mean, that's a good one though for game changer of the year. Cause I feel like this is really the first year where that's been like a major thing in not only just one sport, but across all sports.
Right. Which is why I chose it. And then honorable mention, I would say game changer for college football is big coaches leaving big time schools for even bigger schools. You got Lincoln Riley and you got Brian Kelly, both ditching, shipping. Like, I just think that's wild. And I'm not really sure how to feel about it also.
Yeah, that's going to be another changer too, and just how like the coaching market and everything that's evolving as well. Right. Even just like that combined with the NIL, like college football is such a mystery right now, like with what direction it's going in. Who knows where we're going to be in 4 years?
There's just so much money being thrown around too.
Yeah, and the TV contracts, and I mean the shit with like Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC. Like,
what gets me is it's like, oh, we get all this money because they always talk about when they pay the coaches, like it's the boosters. I'm like, bro, where are all this boosters money coming from? Like, what do these people do? Like, how many millionaires actually went to LSU? Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah, and how many of them are actually like active and donating and everything like that?
Yeah, like what? Like how? Like what kind of person just says, "Yeah, I'll give $5 million to the football team. I want us to win."
Yeah, you'd be surprised though, honestly. Like,
I know that's the thing. That's weird.
Like even just people like. I don't know. You don't even have to be like super poo-poo rich. People like just like donating to your school is like a thing. People just like do it.
That's true. Yeah, it is. It is like I've gotten I know people that have graduated like last year and gotten like new graduate donation requests, alumni donation requests. It's like, fuck you. Like
It's like, bro,
I'm in debt.
yeah,
You
it's
know
like,
what
bro,
I mean?
I still got like 100,000 of student loans to pay off. Fuck you for your donation.
Yeah. So, but no, because like it just blows my mind. Because if I was rich, I would just be like, I'm gonna donate to the starving children in Africa, or like
Yeah,
homeless,
that's another
like
thing. Yeah.
homeless people or something. Not my fucking rich ass school's football team. You know,
Yeah,
like,
especially like, you know, like TCU. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that are funded by donors and everything. I mean, a lot, like literally probably the majority of buildings and everything.
most of Amon G. Carter.
Yeah, most of it was funded by like one dude. I mean, like the basketball arena, Ed Schollmeyer, he put up buku bucks for that. So like,
Right.
I don't know. I guess some people too, for like those big donations, I guess maybe they just want the namesake. Because if
They
you
want the
donate
name on the
enough,
building.
yeah, if you donate enough, you can get the name. Which that would actually be kind of cool. If I was like super rich, I would want to have Ryan Bunnell Stadium or something. Like, I don't know.
That is true. That is true.
I would cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah.
Assuming we're rich and famous.
Assuming we get there.
Yeah.
All
right. Next up, yeah.
Champion of the year. Who you got?
Champion of the year. We've already talked about him a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Tom Brady. I know the Bucks are who won the championship, but gotta go with Tom Brady in particular, winning his 7th ring. New team, proved all the haters wrong, proved all the system quarterback chanters wrong. He just did it. He did his thing. He did it again, and now he's got more rings than any NFL franchise.
Yeah. For me, I went with the Milwaukee Bucks. Small time franchise. They didn't do it the big star free agent route. It was homegrown for the most part with Giannis and Chris Middleton, and then adding Drew Holiday. I think that's awesome. I think I want to see more of that going forward with the NBA, because a lot of this diva shit just really isn't all that entertaining for me personally. And so, yeah, I think it's awesome that Giannis has stayed there, decided to stick with the Bucks, and then finally got his ring.
Yeah, that's a good pick because I agree. Like the homegrown is it was cool to see.
Yeah. And then honorable mention, Team USA in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Number 1 in golds. But
of course,
I don't think we covered the spread for whatever it was.
I think it was like over under 42.5 or some. I don't know. It was quite a bit.
It was a ridiculous number.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I want to. I don't even remember. That was like 6 months ago, dude.
Yeah, I forgot the Olympics even happened this year until I started looking at everything. Like,
you know what's crazy too is that the Winter Olympics start in like a month or 2.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, in like 2 months. Yeah,
that's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
I don't really know much about the Winter Olympics. All I know was you remember Apollo Ono?
Speed skater.
Yeah, Paula Ono, and then Lindsey Vonn, the skier.
She's done. She's retired.
Yeah, I think she's like almost 40 now, so it makes sense. But
yeah,
that's really all that was about my Winter Olympics knowledge as far as that goes. Oh, of course, Shaun White. I mean, of course, yeah. I think he's competing, right? I think this is his last time competing, he said.
I had no idea. I thought last time was, but I don't know.
I saw something on TikTok where he was doing like an interview, but it was kind of emotional because they're like, "How do you know it's your last time?" He was like, "Your body just you can't do it anymore." Like, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's kind of depressing." Like after he's been doing this for so long,
I could see him do it one more time. I don't know, but I'm gonna watch shit out of it because I love the Olympics.
I would watch Shaun White just because it's Shaun White. All right, next up we got the underdog of the year. I had a hard time choosing, so I have 2 of them. And I'm going to go with, first off, we already mentioned Oral Roberts in March Madness, made the Sweet 16. They were the 15 seed, upset the 2 seed Ohio State, which was nuts, led by Max Asmus, who's going to have an NBA career one day. And then my second option out of the UFC was recent, very recent, and Juliana Pena. The largest money line underdog or second largest money line underdog win in UFC history. I think she closed at like plus 800 on most sports books. Beat Amanda Nunes, who we all thought was unbeatable at this point in her career. So huge underdog win there. And those are my 2 picks for underdog of the year. What do you got?
For me, I'm going with the 2021 Detroit Lions, just all year.
just them
Just
every
them
game
as a team throughout this entire year. Is that Dan Campbell, the whole squad. They're the lovable losers. They cover spreads like nobody's business. And then they finally got their dub. And then they followed it up with a second win, a blowout win against the really
Cardinals.
good Cardinals. And then they followed it up by, they didn't win, but they covered another spread with David Blau, of all people, who's 2-0 against the spread now for some reason. And I don't know. I love them, and I want Dan Campbell to win the Super Bowl in Detroit.
It does seem like the rest of the sports world roots for the Lions just because they're the Lions.
Yeah. Well, and because I think everyone has fallen in love with Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He's just like a hardcore football guy, and he cares so much. Like that man cried after his team lost a game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the memes that came out of that were great.
Oh my god. If I had to pick somebody besides the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, like in any given year, it'd be Dan Campbell and the Lions.
I mean, yeah, they're never gonna have that success ever again, probably. So who knows? You know, I mean, who knows? What if in 10 years from now the Lions are a dynasty, bro?
Dude, I'm giving them 3.
3. I really think they could actually be decent if they keep Dan Campbell. I think if they keep things moving.
If they don't draft a quarterback this year, keep on building the rest of the roster. Get Bryce Young.
I agree. Not this year. They should wait.
They should wait. Grab a stud QB with the rest of the roster ready for them. Watch out.
The only way I might say go this year is if they can get Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's going to have a good
number 1 though.
Not number 1, no, but I think he's going to have a good NFL career. But they're probably not going to be able to get him though because he's going to go pretty high.
Yeah, I would rather take one of the pass rushers. Probably the guy out of Michigan.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, get Hutchinson out of him.
He's really
homegrown
good.
guy. I would just say go that route and just build the rest of the roster because, I mean, they're obviously really depleted. But, not only Dan Campbell, too, but they have a really good GM. He came from the Rams. I'm blanking on his name.
I'll fact check it.
Yeah. But he's a really good hire. Yeah.
Brad
and
Holmes.
I got faith in him to turn the Lions around.
All right. And then honorable mention as well for underdog of the year was Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks. They were plus 2,800 moneyline underdogs to beat the University of Texas on the road. That was amazing. Jared Casey, the walk-on, got a fucking Applebee's deal out of it. Man made thousands of dollars based on his first career catch. It was nuts. Love that story, though. All right. Moving on now from underdog of the year, we have the L of the year, the biggest loss of the year, whether it be a singular game or just in general. And I went a little outside of the box, kind of just encompassing truly any and all sports of the year. And my L of the year is Medina Spirit. If you don't remember who Medina Spirit is, it is the Kentucky Derby winning horse. And right afterwards, there was investigations. It showed that they were taking substances that were enhancing the horse. Bob Baffert, who was in charge of that stable, was banned from the Beaumont Stakes. Sorry, I'm blanking. Beaumont Stakes, and had to forfeit his win at the Kentucky Derby, ruining his chances of the Triple Crown. And then the horse died this month earlier. I think it was December 6th. So there's investigation going on now on what exactly they were giving that horse. But that's the L of the year because what a fall from graces. I mean, Kentucky Derby winner to then having your people banned from the event and then fucking dying from like what is going on there? That's the L of the year.
Bet still hit though.
Bet still hit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got a buddy. His last name is Medina, and his dad apparently put like $1,000 or something on Medina Spirit to win the Kentucky Derby. So he got a fat
is his name
payout.
Logan?
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
He lives 4 doors down from me.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I'm going L of the year. Florida State losing a top recruit to an FCS school. We all know it just happened recently.
That's a good one, though.
The number 2 recruit leaving Florida State to go to Jackson State.
Number 1 recruit.
Standard. Well, I think he was the number 2 overall, number 1 DB.
I'm pretty sure he was number 1 overall when it was like when it came in, like when it was all said and done. Either way, I could be either way though.
Yeah. You lose a 5-star to FCS school, you're fucking up. So that's a huge L. So yeah, congrats Florida State. You got L of the year. Honorable mention to Big Ben thinking that he could play football this year.
Oh, that was a good one. I remember whenever he was going on his diet and everything and was getting back in his elite status. Oh, that was hilarious. We both saw this shit coming. As anybody with half a brain should have been able to.
Right.
All right. And next up, we got a few more to get through. We got Curse of the Year. This is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, whatever team is cursed. And I'm going to go with the England national team. This year was, even though it was technically Euro 2020 because of COVID, it was played this summer. So we had the European Cup, and it was a final between England and Italy. And everybody was saying, oh, it's coming home. It's coming home. And England fucking choked in penalties. They lost 3-2. And they now have no major trophies since 1966, which is just nuts considering, you know, they are the home of football is what they like to say. So that's the curse of the year. They just can't win a trophy, even when they get to the final.
Mine is the Washington football team. Woes continue. Ever since they had like a Native American Appreciation Day and then brought out some Native American tribes people at halftime during a primetime game one year, they have been atrocious. It's also the Dan Snyder effect. Can you look up what year that was for me and just look up like Washington, use their former name, and then Native American like Appreciation Night or whatever it was. I can't remember like exactly what year. I think it was 2013. But their record has been abysmal since they did that.
All right, let's see. Okay, yeah. So November of 2013, Washington Redskins honor Navajo code talkers.
Right. Yeah, that's what they did. And then
four representatives from the Navajo Code Talkers Association stood in the end zone of the Red Zone's home turf during a ceremony to honor their service in World War II. They donned Redskins jackets along with their military hats.
Yeah, and I think if you look it up, their record, their winning percentage has been like 35 to 40%. There's a Reddit post about it. I don't know how updated it is because the last time I saw that was like a year or two ago.
Let's see. Yeah. Since then, they have had one winning season at 9-7, and that was in 2015.
So yeah,
and they've gone 3-13, 4-12, 9-7, 7-9, 7-9, 3-13, 7-9, and now they're like 6-8 or some shit. Or I think they're 6-9 now.
Sick.
Yeah, sick. That's what they get, honestly.
For real.
It's God smiting them.
All right, so dumbass of the year, who you got?
Dumbass of the year. This was hard to pick. You know, there's so many options, but I'm gonna go with the University of Texas as a whole for thinking for some reason that they can compete in the SEC when they can't even beat fucking Kansas at home. It's so comical. It's gonna be hilarious when this all transpires. But I got to go with UT as my dumbass for the year. This move to the SEC is purely financial. They just stopped caring about winning at this point. What do you got?
For me, my dumbass of the year is Rob Manfred.
That's always a good one.
For the obvious reasons and also his role that it has been in the lockout. He's done nothing but make the situation worse. And he's just all around a terrible baseball commissioner. I'm not even sure he knows what the sport of baseball is at this point. And then honorable mention, Antonio Brown for being Antonio Brown. And
yeah.
And then Evander Kane for his big 3 controversies of the year. He's had a fake vaccine card. He did which is like take the vaccine or don't. I always think the fake vaccine card is just objectively hilarious.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, if you're not gonna do it, just don't do it. Like, be like Kyrie at least,
Yeah, like I don't know why. It's so funny to me. He's had the alleged gambling on NHL games.
It's a good one.
And then a little bit more serious, the domestic violence situation. So he's a dumbass.
Yeah, the trilogy, bro. All right. Next up is this one's just a little fun one. Haircut of the year. What do you got?
So I'm going Mike Gundy. He got rid of the classic mullet this year, and he went clean cut. So
I haven't seen this honestly. Oh wait, yeah, I have seen this. Yeah, the no mullet, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I don't like it. It's weird, but at the same time, it's nice. Like it looks good. All right, mine is more satire. I'm going haircut of the year, Mark Davis, owner of the Raiders. I feel like I don't even need to say anything about it. It looks like somebody got a bowl and gave like a bowl and scissors and gave it to a 7-year-old and said, "Have fun." And he probably pays like $300 for his haircuts just based on how rich he is. He probably gets like a designer haircut, and that's what it comes out as. So, yeah, it's hilarious. If you haven't seen Mark Davis's hair by now, just look up Mark Davis and then go to images, and you'll get a good laugh out of it.
Honorable mention is me. I got fucked out of my long hair and flow that I was growing for about 9 months at that point.
I remember when you came on the episode and you were like pissed. You were like,
oh, dude, I was so mad. I was growing out my hair for like 9 months, and then I went in for a trim, and she fucking just scarred me. I don't know. She ruined it. So yeah, it's taken away.
Never going back to that barber.
Absolutely not. I paid $50 for that haircut, by the way.
Damn, I mean that's not like crazy, but that's pretty
a lot
pretty
more
expensive
than I go for like $20 or $30.
Yeah, that's what I normally do is like 20 to 30.
$50, that's bougie.
It is a little bougie. Well, I mean, yeah, you never know. Maybe it's just like where was it? Was it like a nice ass place?
Yeah, it was like a nice ass place.
Apparently. Okay.
Like, they had really good reviews, and she's like, "Yeah."
Now they got one bad review.
Yeah, she's like, "It's my first day. I'm going to the best haircut or cosmetology school in the country." I was like, "Cool," and then she just fucked my ass up. But okay. Next up's controversy of the year. Who's your winner?
So for me, this one kind of reminded me when I was looking back at everything with the Olympics. I almost forgot about it, but I'm going to go with Sha'Carri Richardson smoking weed. And the reason why it was the biggest controversy for me was just because of just the outlash it started in the media, whether or not like athletes should be allowed to smoke weed, all of these guidelines on it, and how like other athletes came out and were like, look, I literally play games high. Like, what's the big deal? Like, it was just ridiculous. And also the ruling where she couldn't even compete after she sat out her 30-day punishment. It was a mess. I personally, I mean, you could probably tell what side I'm on. I thought she should have run. It was just fucking weed. Who cares? But it was an interesting controversy nonetheless to see how it went down in the media and everything. And also, she like blew up. I mean, nobody knew who Sha'Carri Richardson was before this year. Everybody knew who she was during this. And now that Olympics are over, nobody's really probably going to talk about her for like another 4 years.
My favorite part about that whole thing is like how hyped up she was to be good, and then the next race that she was able to get back in, she got like last.
Yeah, and then all the jokes of like, damn, maybe the weed was affecting her.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
And then she was like talking about how she's gonna be the great. Did you see the clip of her like when that race, her first race back? She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win," and blah blah blah. Like the people behind her literally laughed in her face when she said that.
Yeah, it was.
Personally, I think she's a clown. She tried to use an excuse for her smoking weed, and also like if you're an Olympic athlete, pretty fucking obvious that you're gonna get drug tested. So don't.
Yeah.
Smoke
Okay.
weed.
So I agree with those aspects of it all. I just think that like. If it's legal,
you should be able to
punished.
smoke weed,
yeah.
but you should be smarter than that.
Yeah, very exactly.
That's mine. So me, I think the biggest controversy of the year, is Kyrie not getting vaxxed and then literally not playing because of vaccine status. I mean, vaccine thoughts aside, I just thought this whole situation was
just the way it panned out was funny.
Objectively funny. And it was probably the most talked about controversy of the year, so that's why he got my vote. And then also too, you throw in the Aaron Rodgers lying about his vaccine, which I still get a kick out of.
Yeah, then he goes on he went on a podcast, or he went on
my god, he went on the
Pat McAfee show wearing.
I watched the whole thing,
cancel culture thing.
Dude went off.
Dude, he started talking about getting information from his good friend Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
good times. That wasn't even too long ago.
I don't know. Most of the controversies about the vaccine, which honestly at this point I give less of a shit about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit about the vaccine controversy itself. I just think it's funny, like the way they went down and shit.
Right.
Like the Kyrie, just in the media and everything.
And how much funny. ESPN, like when Rodgers got COVID and it came out, he didn't get vaccinated. Literally, I was at work and on TVs, like we just have ESPN on.
It became like the LeBron James
that
for the
was
week.
The only thing that was talked about for my entire like 9-hour shift was Rodgers lying about the vaccine. It's like, are you serious? Like, you have nothing else to talk about?
Yeah, they milked it. All right.
Ridiculous.
We got a couple more. This one, we got sports video game of the year. I haven't really been gaming that much, but if you remember from our older episodes, I went through a heavy MLB The Show 21 phase. I was grinding it like every day. So MLB The Show 21 is my sports game of the year. I think it was a really fun game, really well made this year. What about you?
I didn't know this was only supposed to be for sports.
No, it doesn't matter.
Also, no other sports game deserves a nomination or just mention. So I went with Halo Infinite because that game's kick ass. Free to play, by the way.
I mean, it didn't have to be a sports game. Yeah, Halo was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I haven't played it as much though lately, honestly. I played it when it first came out.
It's so good.
I'm not very good at Halo.
Well, the story mode is where it gets you.
That makes sense. Yeah. All right, and then last but not least is the surprise of the year. Pretty self-explanatory. Biggest surprise of the year, most unexpected event, and I'm gonna go with Lionel Messi moving to PSG, leaving his boyhood club of Barcelona. I mean, Messi and Barcelona are as intertwined as Tom Brady was with the New England Patriots. Seeing him in another jersey is just otherworldly. It's weird. It's just so weird. So the fact that it actually happened is just beyond me.
For me, I went with Phil Mickelson winning another major, becoming the oldest major winner at the Open or the U.S. Open. I'm sorry, and it's nuts. It's nuts. But I do think that, call me a sucker, Tiger is going to break that record at some point in 3 years when he finally becomes healthy.
I was about to say, dude, I feel like somehow, some way, Tiger's got
another one.
And he's gonna win a Masters or something, bro. Like, he's just gonna tune his body to be able to perfectly perform for like 1 week, and then that's it for the rest of his career. Absolutely. If anybody can do it, it's Tiger.
So, honorable mentions, I would say Lincoln Riley going to USC. When I got that breaking news, I literally gasped.
That was the most unexpected of the whole college football transfer shit.
Did not know that was happening. And then another one is that the Texas Rangers actually signed free agents, but that's more of a if you follow the team.
Hip hip hooray!
Surprise. So, yeah.
Fun players to actually watch next year.
No shit.
Life.
Okay.
So, all right, let's get into some college football now for a little bit. Not much to talk about. We're just going to glance over these games now because really this weekend there's nothing else super exciting other than the college football playoffs. So tomorrow on Friday, New Year's Eve, we got first up Alabama versus Cincinnati. Alabama are 13.5-point favorites with the over-under set at 57. That game's at 2:30. And then we got Georgia and Michigan, the 2 and 3 seed. Georgia are 7.5-point favorites. That line has actually moved a point in Michigan's favor. And that game starts at 6:30. Over-under is set at 45. So first off, I'm curious to see, before we kind of talk about them a little bit, what is your just straight up prediction?
Man, I was all over Michigan plus 7.5, and now like apparently that's like the trendy pick, and
It's
so
like
it's made
75% of the public or some shit.
it's made me really nervous about it, and so it's
Yeah.
made me it's become so trendy that I've gone in the reverse. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe Georgia's going to put it on, because you have to remember that, I don't know, 80-90% of the semifinal games are blowouts.
Yeah, you're right. I
So
mean,
it wouldn't be a shocker that if Georgia just blew out Michigan, just cause. So, man, I don't know. I'm still gonna rock with Michigan spread though, because they're my guys. I also have a small future bet on them to win it all at plus
Michigan,
550. Mm-hmm.
I like that
So
actually.
so I'm gonna stay rocking with them in their spread. I think I'm gonna end up betting on them. And to 1 second.
Bless you.
Thank you. One more. Fake. Hold up. That was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sprinkle a little bit of money line on that too. I think I might.
I like it. I mean,
So
this might be, even though it's the 2 and the 3, and even though Alabama did beat Georgia, I think this might be the national championship right here. Like in terms of
no.
entertainment wise, no.
Oh no, being the national championship, no. But I do think this has the potential to be probably the best semifinal game or like CFP game since Georgia OU.
I really think whoever comes out of this game is going to win it all. I don't know why. I feel like if Alabama and Georgia end up playing each other again, Georgia's going to get the better of them, just because it's hard to beat a team twice in college football. But one thing too to think of that I didn't even have down here in our notes for the Georgia game is they have somewhat of a quarterback controversy for the playoffs. Like they're starting Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels, who was one of the preseason Heisman favorites. And I mean, Stetson Bennett is a pretty nuts guy himself. He was a pretty highly touted recruit. He's done well whenever JT Daniels was out. But that's kind of something to keep an eye on too. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kirby Smart said, he's rolling with Stetson Bennett because he feels like they give him the best chance to win.
Right. And then for the Bama game, I'm rocking with Bama.
Are you going with Bama to cover the spread or to win?
To cover the spread.
Cover the spread? Oh no, dude. See, I see this game going one of two ways. Absolutely, there's going to be no gray area. So I think Cincinnati is either going to play the game of their life and just do it for all the little guys out there, and they're going to win on like a crazy last second field goal or some shit. Or Bama is going to play like Alabama and just blow them out of the water by 30 plus points. And it's just going to boost the college football playoff committee's egos even more than it already has. Those are the only, I don't really see anything else, but I
think Bama's going to blow them out of the water.
I think Cincinnati's going to show up for this game. I do. And maybe that's just the believer in me.
I just don't think they have the talent.
They got Desmond Ridder, bro. They got Sauce Gardner. They truly do have one of the best secondary units in football.
I mean, they're good, but like,
it's Bama. I know it's fucking
Bama.
I know, and I don't want to say that, but it's true. Like, I'm really just hoping for a close ass game because I'm gonna be there. But it's hard to say it. I feel like though Bryce Young may have a little bit of difficulty because he hasn't necessarily faced a secondary unit as good as Cincinnati's. I mean, Sauce Gardner is statistically the best, defensive back in all of college football this year, probably. Really highly touted by Pro Football Focus and all that. He's going to be good in the NFL too. And also, Bama is beatable. We got to remember that. Bama this year, look at their Florida game was really close. LSU was a close call. Auburn went to 7 overtimes. They lost to A&M. These are all teams that I feel like Cincinnati could also beat. So, like, I don't know. I think it's possible. It's really possible. So your pick then for the championship. Wait, who do you have winning though for the Georgia Michigan? You have Michigan to cover.
I mean, I want to go Michigan. That's what's telling me right now. I just think that Michigan, Harbaugh is going to figure a way out to get there. They're my pick to win it all, but man, Michigan, Bama, like it's
That would
hard.
be interesting.
Caden McNamara, like he's good, but is he good enough to win a national championship? Like Bryce
I
Young,
wonder
like
the
you
same,
said,
but their running game is so damn good.
and their offensive line, they just have the beef on both sides of
Yeah.
the balls to get it done. But Georgia's super good too. Like this is really one of those national championship matchups that I look at. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this besides Bama beating Cincinnati.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay. Realistically, yes, that is my prediction. Is Bama wins, Bama goes to the Natty, and I'm gonna go with Michigan though to win. I think this is Harbaugh. Harbaugh's already a legend at Michigan. Like he's already going to be glorified there for what he's done, especially now after beating Ohio State. That cemented his legacy. But if he comes out of this game with a win, he's going to earn himself a damn bronze statue on campus somewhere. Like not necessarily this win, but if they win the title game, and I feel like this is the best team Harbaugh has had since he came back to Michigan by a landslide. This is the first time they've been legit. And so they kind of maybe have that chip on their shoulder. Maybe it's somewhat of an emotional aspect rather than a pure talent and athleticism aspect. But I think they're going to find a way to do it, even though Georgia probably on paper is the much better team. So I got Bama against Michigan in my matchup. And I think Bama wins it all, sadly.
I hope not.
I hope
don't
not
want to see
either.
I don't want to see another one of those, but
it is what it is.
But I am going to bet on them minus 13.5.
No.
I am.
Overall, though, aside from the playoff games, how has bowl season gone for you so far?
So pretty good. Pretty good. For Taylor Fade, I'm 8-5, and then you're 6-5. The reason for the disconnect is because of the cancellations.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so and then just games that I bet on in general are pretty nice. I think how's Michigan doing right now?
Oh, Michigan State.
Michigan State is doing terrible. So
I'm sick.
That is not good.
I was so frustrated, bro. I had Maryland minus 3.5 picked out yesterday, and then I fell asleep at like 12:30. Woke up at 1:45 when they were already up like by 14. And I'm like, God damn it, bro.
No.
I was like, God damn it. That was free money, man.
I have an update. So I was really mad because I thought I put like a live bet on the under in that Tennessee Purdue game, and I was really pissed off. And I just checked my book. Turns out I accidentally picked the over instead of the under.
Oh, that's nice.
So I made some money.
Yeah, that finished with like 90 something points.
Yeah.
That's a nice surprise.
I'll take it. Yep. Because I've been on the flip side of that.
Yeah, it has sucked though. The bowl games getting canceled. Like there was literally no games on Christmas Eve. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do, bro? Talk to family? What? There's no sports. All right. Anyway, though, without college football, you can check out our last episode if you want to go back and read through and hear all of our college football bowl game picks. But for now, on this Taylor Fade segment, just NFL picks, our 5 top picks for this upcoming Sunday, since there's no straightforward scheduled college football. So up first, I'll go ahead and start. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans minus 3.5 against the Dolphins. I think they're going to end the Fins win streak at 7.
I'm going to fade. I think Dolphins can make this a game, and I think that the Titans are vulnerable.
The only reason I'm nervous is because this is kind of like a must-win for the Dolphins if they want to really get in the playoffs. All right. Next up, I got the Chiefs at the Bengals over 51. I'm pretty confident that the Chiefs are going to drop 42 points on us. So,
I'm going to fade. I think this is one of those weird totals that you look at and you think money because both of these teams are going to score hella points. And then the game time comes and they just don't.
That is true. I mean, the NFL is fucky like that. And the Bengals do have a lot of those games. For some reason, I have a feeling that we've been playing so well. We have these playoff hopes now that we're just going to get sclounced by the Chiefs. So hopefully I'm wrong.
This screams to me like a 24-27 game or some shit like that, or like
I would love that.
or like a just like it gets really close to that total, but it's going to be under.
I mean, I would like a close game. I would be happy with that. But all right, next up, we talked about it early in the episode. One of the most profitable teams in all of the NFL to bet on this year. Give me the Detroit Lions +7 at Seattle.
I'm going to tail. I think Seattle is just
Abysmal.
in shambles right now.
Yeah, after that Chicago loss, that was brutal. I'm sticking with the same game, though, and I'm going to also take the Lions at Seahawks over 42.5.
So I'm going to tail this one as well. I think that the Lions offense has proved that they can put up points, and if this game can be somewhat close at all, it is going to include some more scoring, and 42.5 is not that hard of a goal to attain.
Yeah, it's a pretty low total.
Yeah. So I'm going to tail.
Yeah, also seeing the Seahawks give up 25 to the Bears offense made me feel a little bit better about this one too. All right, and then last but not least, this one I really don't have any reason or rhyme to it. It's just kind of because I feel like it's one of those fucky lines in the NFL where shit happens, and I'm going with Washington football team +3.5 at home against the Eagles. I know they just got absolutely embarrassed, but it's the NFL. It's weird. The public's all over Philly. I'm going with Washington.
I'm going to fade. I think this is one of those games where you just don't overthink it.
And, yeah, it's a trap line.
Just don't overthink it. Just bet on the Eagles. Like you kind of had that little teaser last week where the Eagles were like competent or like in a competition with the Giants for like a quarter and a half there on halftime, and then they just like, oh yeah, we're playing the Giants, and they absolutely blew them out. Yeah. Probably going to be that way again. The football team's in shambles. They're a disgrace of an organization at this point. Like every negative thing that I could say about that football team is out there. Eagles are going to cover the spread.
I hope not. I don't know. I haven't made any official plays yet, but I don't know. I hope not.
All right. So for me, I'm going Bills -14.5 versus the Falcons.
This one's tough, bro, because the Bills are playing really well. They need a good win. But 14.5 points is a lot of points in the NFL. I'm going to fade it, and I don't do so with confidence, but I'm going to
see. The reason why I made this pick is because at the Falcons, like they'll beat every single shitty team that they should play, but as soon as they play a good team, they get blown out bad.
Yeah, because like they played the Bucs and were like 11-point favorites, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's a lot of points," and then they didn't.
Also with the Niners, also with the Cowboys, also with a couple other times happened this year. So
this is their time, man. This one right here.
All right. Raiders +7 at the Colts. I think the Raiders are gonna be the Raiders and crash some parties right here and be able to cover the spread. Also, not a guarantee that they'll play with Carson Wentz. This might be a Sam Ehlinger game.
That's what I was about to say. I'm going to tail it mostly for that because they won't have Carson Wentz. Even I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a beast of a week, but the Raiders, like you said, they might pull some Raiders shit. That 7 points is a lot of points. I kind of expected this line to be closer to like 4.5 or something. So yeah, I'll tail that. I like that one a lot.
Next up, I got Rams -4.5 at the Ravens. I think the Ravens are done, even with Lamar.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they're completely gassed. Rams also want to get another win, push them for that playoffs. So 4.5 is a fucky line, but I'm going to ride with it anyway. I might prefer to look at if you could get Rams -2.5 for the first half, I might take that. But
okay,
I like that as well, -4.5. So I'll tail that.
Next up, I got Broncos Chargers under 45.5. I don't know why I have this, but I feel it. It's just one of those totals that you look at and you just go under.
Oh, that's tough because like Broncos defense has been playing well, but also the Chargers kind of need a big performance.
But the Broncos offense sucks.
It does, yeah, it does. Fuck. I'm gonna fade it. I don't know. Okay. I feel like that's not a lot of points. If it was like 50, then I would go under, but I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't have a good pick.
And then last but not least, I got Steelers money line against the Browns. They're 3.5-point dogs. I said, fuck the 3.5 points. It's Big Ben's last home game of his career. You don't think he's going to go out a dub at Heinz Field? You're wrong. Steelers money line. Book it.
All right, that just convinced me. I'm gonna tail. I was gonna honestly be on the Steelers plus 3.5, but that's all I needed to hear. Big Ben's last game in Pittsburgh. Hell yeah. Against the fucking Browns. And if they win, that really helps the Bengals too. So I'm okay with that. I like that.
I mean, I know I was shitting on the guy earlier this episode, but he's had a couple of semi-confident games.
He's still Big Ben.
He's going to put everything he has left in his body into this one last home game. Monday night, prime time. They always win on Monday night.
The terrible towels are going to be out, baby.
It's destiny. It's destiny. Steelers money line. Book it. Put it on my grave.
Throw it in a parlay. Fuck yeah. Actually, no. I don't know if I want to risk that. Yeah. Never mind. Alrighty, though. That's it for our short little Taylor Fade segment on just the NFL. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Something a little bit different, doing kind of a year in review for 2021. Elijah and I were also planning on doing something regarding GTD Sports at the website and everything. Hopefully you guys keep up. So we'll figure out what we want to do maybe in terms of end of the year awards and whatnot for our staff over at gtdsports.com. But stay tuned on that. Nothing is 100%. That's just kind of rumor mill. But that's it for our return episode. Appreciate all of you guys that watched. This will be up on Spotify, Apple, everything up shortly. And yeah, we'll be back on our regular schedule Tuesday, Thursday going forward, live on Twitch, YouTube. So make sure to subscribe, and thank you guys for listening. Elijah, anything last minute to add?
Nope.
All right. Hopefully you guys have a safe and happy New Year's Eve.